I've been there, staring, wondering why no one is listening or watching my content. You've lost your rhythm, you're posting aimlessly, you don't really have a strategy, but you're hoping to get back on track. If that feels like you, this episode, my friend, is for you. I'm going to share with you 7 steps to get your content creation podcast flow mojo back. We're going to do that in 7 steps in this episode on Creator Factor. If we haven't met, my name is Ozeal. I am your host that loves you the most. Welcome to the show, whether you're listening on your favorite podcast app or you're watching this on video, because yes, we do video up in here. Watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button so we can stay updated. But more importantly, this is something that I don't, and this I'm just doing some housekeeping, y'all, okay? Sign up for the newsletter. I have some free giveaways. I'm going to make sure that I post it on the top of the show notes. Click on it, join the community. I publish a newsletter every week, and it's all about helping content creators, business-minded content creators like you, level up and amplify their creator factor through entrepreneurship and community. That's our goal. That's our mission. So I digress. Let's get right into this episode. Again, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 moves that will get you back on track, right? Number 1, reconnect with your why. Now, we all know, probably heard of Simon Sinek, Start With Why. It's a great book, highly recommended. And from there, everybody was talking about why this even matters. Why start with why? And this matters because it's important for you to reconnect, because understanding why you started the podcast in the first place, that answer is going to be very telling to why you're even investing in the thing that you're investing in, period. Like, what is it? What is it, right? I want you to write down, and that's going to be an action step. I want you to write down, who your podcast serves and what transformation you want to deliver on that podcast platform, right? What's the transformation you want to deliver to your listener? It's important for you to really understand that deeply, because if you don't understand why you're doing the thing, it's going to be hard to stick with it. I will share with you why I do what I do. Externally, I'm very, very passionate about helping you, the content creator, find freedom, financial freedom, location freedom through entrepreneurship and community. And I do this through the podcast by hopefully sharing what I've learned as a content creator, being in the game for 10 years plus, hosting over 500 in-person events, doing over 500 interviews, helping launch successful top-rated 1% podcasts all over the world. I'm taking my experience and sharing it with you in hopes of helping you achieve your freedom. And internally, I do this because I'm very passionate about what I do, and I want to create my own freedom. I am a family man. I'm a man of deep faith. I love what I do, and I want to also achieve my personal goals. I want to show up. I want to set an example for my son. I want to set an example for my own legacy, that somebody can give themselves permission to be able to do something outside of themselves to help others. Like, that is my deep why. Like, that is why I do what I do. So I believe that reconnecting also the purpose helps also align the content you're creating with your brand goals. So it's important for you to really think about that and dig deeper into this. This is going to help you to get back on track. The second thing is simplify the format. Get down to the basics. Your minimal viable product, or in this case, your minimal viable podcast, your MVP. Reducing all the moving parts, all the things, right? They say complexity kills consistency. Making it very minimal and going really simple, focusing on one message, maybe even one platform, one episode, will allow you to amplify your message even more. And that just simplicity just makes it easier for you to just ship content a lot more efficiently. It helps you stay visible, and it just keeps your brand top of mind. So simplicity is key. All right. So simplify the format. That's number 2. Your third move, audit what's working and audit absorb what's useful, discard what's not, what's useless. Now, full disclaimer, I'm not a real big data guy. I was never a big data guy. I was recently, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, I really started looking at the numbers. And even now, working at a podcast network, going deeper and embracing the numbers, right? Data really gives you direction. So if you're stuck right now, burned out, and let's say you have 50 episodes and you just still don't know where to go, I'm going to encourage you to check your analytics, okay? After 50 episodes, I think it gives you enough data that you can look into your episodes or your video content and allow you to see what's working and seeing what's not, what's creating the most engagement, what's creating the most leads. I'm actually I normally do this about quarterly, twice a year, really. And I'm going to be doing this pretty soon because I'm also looking at the data regarding how can I make this podcast even more useful to you, because I'm looking at what resonated and what didn't. And it's constantly just making sure that you're checking and then doubling down on the themes that you as my audience actually cares about, right? Because at the end of the day, I was speaking not too long ago at a conference, and I'm more of an audience first, audience driven coach. When I consult, I'm very, very big on who is this for, who are you serving, and what transformation are you going to deliver? And that's right there is a whole different video or episode. So when you're running a content business like we are, we're not treating this as a hobby, we're treating it as a business. You got to treat your metrics like marketing data. We got to treat our metrics like it's really going to inform us on where we need to double down on and the things that we need to just let go of. That's move number 3. Let's audit and what's not. What's move number 4 to get you back on track? Oh, I don't know about you, but let's go ahead and audit from the last one, your collaboration flow. Let's reignite your collaboration. I say that creativity thrives in connection and collaboration. What can you do to collaborate more with your peers, with maybe past guests, maybe some people within your circle? Reach out to them. Try to get a collaboration going. Cross promotion strategy works when it comes to growing platforms. And I do find it that whenever you go outside of your bubble, you start opening up for collaboration, it does do something to your creator platform. It'll open you up to new ideas, to new opportunities. And just sometimes just having a guest on your podcast will just help you just reignite that flame. So collaboration equals visibility in potential client pipelines. So maybe it's time for you to reignite the collaboration factor. See what I did there? And to help you with your creator factor. Ooh, that's it. Reignite your collaboration factor to amplify your creator factor. Peace. I'm out. Just kidding. That was number 4. I'm sorry. I'm feeling myself right now. That was a bar. Had to do it twice. All right. Twice is nice. All right. Move number 4. This is another thing that took me a minute for me to learn. And I'm here to let you know, whatever stage you're at, especially if you're in the beginning stages, embrace this sooner than later. You ready for it? Build a mini system. Notice that I said mini system. Poquito, un poco, pequeño. Build a system, a mini system. Consistency isn't really about discipline. Consistency is built on design. Let me repeat. Consistency isn't built on discipline. It's built by design. One of the things that when I feel like I'm feeling the most creative, the most creatively free, and I'm feeling much better about myself as a creator is when I design it to where I'm able to create content in one day, aka content batching. You probably heard of it before. But one day a week, I'm recording is my content production day. And I suggest you, especially for my busy creators out there, entrepreneurs, we're busy. We gotta work smarter, not harder, right? And with so many moving parts happening and everything, we're just constantly inundated with content, consumption. We're dealing with a lot, right? We're distracted more than ever. I always suggest have one production day where you can record 2 to 3, let's say, podcast episodes or 2, 3 pieces of content. Again, it goes back to move number 1. It reduces the friction. It removes all the moving parts and it simplifies the format, right? See how this all ties in? So what that will do is it'll allow you not only creative space and breathing room, but it'll also help you repurpose that content, one episode, into 2 to 3, 4 clips or more. Again, work smarter, work not harder. And I do believe that by creating these systems, it'll create scalability. That's how you scale influence, is when you create systems. That's how you reduce the burnout. That's how you pour more output, a more effective output in your content creation and marketing, is when you start creating systems. Systems equals scale. Scale equals more influence on your community. And at the end of the day, that's what you want, right? You want to scale influence. You can only do that with systems. You just can't do it when you're just kind of just one-offs, and I'm really, when I practice what I preach, and again, I know life be life in sometimes and it gets a little crazy, but whenever I implement a systematic way of content creation, I've noticed that I'm able to do a lot more and I just feel so much better. So built a mini system. That's the fifth move. Let's go ahead and let me riff off this one, man. Oh, this is a good one. Move number six, numero seis, refresh your brand energy. I'm not going to lie. And I'm feeling like this too. I actually recently I've been feeling like this, and I'm changing up a few things myself. But sometimes your brand needs a refresher. You feel a bit stale, right? You feel like you just, maybe your messaging is a bit off. You just feel like you're not quite moving the needle with your brand. And this is when I say it's time to update and look at, go back to your audit. Let's audit your visuals. Let's audit your banner, your content assets. Let's your branding assets. Maybe it's you going back and revisiting your trailer. Is your trailer aligned with the content you're currently putting out? Maybe it's time to record a new podcast episode or record a new video, why this show exists, why this channel exists. Maybe you need to do that, and I believe that creating a refresh brand will attract attention, the right attention, and it'll also renew that listener trust that you are trying to seek. We all are trying to seek. That brand refresh is important, and I think it's important for us to kind of revisit, and maybe that's what you need to get you back on track. Last but not leastly, move number 7. Let's bring it home. This is a big one. Maybe it's time for you to recommit publicly. Why am I saying recommit publicly? Well, there's nothing more stronger than accountability. I believe that accountability creates momentum. And it's interesting that I'm saying this because I've been thinking a lot about my offers. And if you may or may not know, I'm a podcast, marketing and brand strategist, consultant, coach. And one of the things that I'm incorporating a lot more now, even now moving forward to 2026, is that I am looking at establishing more or creating more accountability factors into my coaching. And one of the things that you can do to get back on track is tell your audience that you're back in what you're doing. Like, let them know what you're thinking about. Let them know the process. I love this idea of showing your audience the sawdust. Let them in on what you're currently working on. Maybe some of the challenges. Let them know that you are committed, recommitted to making sure that the brand is being worked on and it's in progress and you're evolving and it's part of everybody's personal brand. And whether it may be a live stream, it may be, again, a podcast episode or a video, but maybe announcing your next 3 topics, some upcoming guests, what you have coming down the pipeline, just sharing that publicly will allow you to kind of get you focused and get you dialed in on your brand and get you back on track, right? So that public commitment is everything. It really does build that consistency, and it creates those signals of reliability, and those are the essentials for building that brand authority, brand loyalty with your audience. So recommit publicly is the next move, the final move. Okay. So again, let me go ahead and do a recap of all the 7 breakthrough moves to get your podcast or content back on track. Number 1, reconnect with your why. Number 2, simplify the format. Number 3, audit what's working and what's not. Move number 4, reignite your collaboration. Number 5, build a mini system. Number 6, refresh your brand energy strategy. And then lastly, move number 7, recommit publicly. Those are your 7 breakthrough moves to get your brand on track. All right. If you're ready to rebuild your podcast momentum, your content strategy, and align it with your business goals, check out, I have a 14-day podcast intensive. It's not strictly for podcasts. That's usually my MO. That's usually what I do. But if you have a content strategy, if you're looking to build a content strategy for your personal brand, it's designed for all creators like you. So I'll make sure that I link it up in the show notes on the top fold, so you can make sure that you subscribe to the newsletter, but also reach out to me for that 14-day intensive. I want to end with this, that momentum is a choice. All right. Momentum is a choice. And it starts with you really digging into your strategy and being reconnected to alignment to what and why you're doing what you're doing. So sometimes it takes you talking it out with someone, with a coach or with an accountability partner or with a community. But I do it. I think coaches need coaches too. And there are times where I have to talk it out with my mastermind or talk it out with my peers and say, hey, is this aligned with what I'm trying to accomplish? And then there's the inner work, right? Really understanding, reconnecting with your why, really understanding why you're doing what you're doing. And there's different layers to it. But get connected, like get together with somebody that you can speak about with when it comes to your strategy overall. Okay. So that is it. Hopefully this was valuable to you. If there's something that really stood out, tag me. What move are you going to commit to this week? One move. Okay. One simple move that you can commit to this week that will get you back on track. All right. My name is Ozeal. Thanks again for checking out the Creator Factor podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel at Ozeal. And I will catch you on the next episode, with much more content coming up to you or coming at you here soon. Thanks again for subscribing to the tribe. Peace and one love.